Well, we're just 3 weeks out from Election Day, and California voters are making their voices heard. Our brand new Survey USA Union Tribune poll asked voters about a number of key races and issues.
Our political analyst, Wendy Patrick, is here to break it all down. Let's start with the governor's race, first of all. Gavin Newsom leads John Cox, 52 to 35%, but 14% of people are undecided in this race. Newsom has name recognition, and it's a Democratic state. Should he be worried?
Well, I always think that a frontrunner should be worried because of what happened in 2016. Remember, that was not so long ago. But here's a couple other reasons, and I think this is worth mentioning, that you can't always assume that momentum translates into math. Enthusiasm was something else that was assessed in this poll. And the enthusiasm, believe it or not, among the supporters went to Cox. So now you wonder whether or not somebody would say, well, you know, in a poll, I'm going to say that I'm really for Newsom, but is that somebody that's going to turn out in the polls? So this is something that we really have to be aware of in terms of if you support a candidate and you want to make your voice heard, there's only one way to do that, and that's not by checking a box, it's by heading to your ballot box.
Right, got to vote.
All right, another surprising, I guess, outcome of this poll, Dianne Feinstein. She leads Kevin De Leon by just 14 percentage points.
Yes.
She's seeking her 5th term. I think a lot of people thought she kind of had this one in the bag. What are your thoughts?
So, Lindsay, Dianne Feinstein is 85 years old. Yeah. She is, God bless her. I hope we're all doing that when we're 85 with that much energy. But she has been in the Senate for so long that she has name ID. People know her name, but they don't often know what she stands for. Hence that 34% undecided. That is an astronomical amount of people to be undecided given the matchup. So there's a lot of surprises in that race. And it just goes to show you that just because you've been somewhere a very long time doesn't necessarily translate into enthusiasm. Because the enthusiasm, believe it or not, again, among the supporters, goes to her opponent. How do you like that?
Do you think the Kavanaugh hearings hurt her?
I think that those that followed the Kavanaugh hearings might say yes. There's even a bit of bipartisan agreement on that because she held on to the memo from Dr. Ford as long as she did. Now, she had good reason for doing it. Dr. Ford said, I don't want this going public. Nonetheless, the fact that everybody was in that fire drill at the end, leaving only 1 week for an FBI investigation, there's a bipartisan blowback on that that I do think hurt her. Again, only among those people that followed that hearing, which is not everybody.
Finally, Prop 6, the gas tax repeal. Yes on 6 to repeal the tax has a commanding lead of 58%.
Yes.
Yet we just did a story recently that shows they don't have much money, not much cash at all for political advertising.
Well, here's the tricky thing with Prop 6. Nobody wants to pay more money for gas, but that hits us harder in San Diego because of the cost of living than it does in other parts of the states where people are voting. Those people might care more about roads that don't have the kind of potholes that's going to land their car in the garage. It's going to cost more money to fix than it would to fill up a tank. So that's a tricky one, but it does seem to have a commanding lead, and it's probably going to be successful.
All right.
People never want to hear they have to spend more money.
No, we don't.
All right, Wendy Patrick, thank you so much for being with us today.